All right, good afternoon, everyone. Let's get started. Okay, so by now, if you've been sitting here for a while, you know that I like to start with questions. So I will start again with another question, which is, do you know why we call a marathon a marathon? Probably you've heard about the story. I'm not sure it's 100% accurate, but it's a good story, so I'll start with that. It comes back from the ancient times where the Greeks were fighting the Persians in a place called Marathon. And they actually won, and they were so happy about winning that they wanted the people back in Athens to know about it. So what they did is they sent a guy to bring the news, and the guy had to run all the way from the place called Marathon to the city, which he did. He actually ran without stopping all the way up to there. He arrived there and he announced to the citizens really proudly, "We won." Just after that, he collapsed and he died. So that will be my first tip for today in this talk. Don't do a marathon. People die after doing that. Anyway, keep that in mind. Next example that I would like to put here. Did you ever hear about the missiles crisis? The missile crisis? So in summary, now you know that I love to talk about history, but I'm supposed to talk about Odoo, so let's keep it short. It's a moment where basically the USSR and the United States were having a very big dispute during the Cold War. Tension was mounting really, really high, and we were on the verge of getting to World War III, which mean really, really bad issues. Why am I talking about that? Because it seems crazy today, but do you know how those two leaders were communicating to try to de escalate the issue? The issue potentially being we will nuke the planet. They were talking through letters. They were sending each other letters. Imagine the delay that there was. Imagine how much time they were waiting for this. Imagine all the uncertainties that it brought to an issue that was already really, really tricky. Why am I talking about that? Because, well, today we'll be talking about WhatsApp, and it's crazy when you think about it to see how quickly communication evolved in the last few years. Not so long ago, we were sending each other letters, and now nobody does. We just do everything on WhatsApp. So let's see a bit how Odoo can help you use WhatsApp in the context of your business. I'm Luc Lillis, I'm the product owner of the WhatsApp app, and I'm really happy to be able to show you here what we have for you. Now, this is a talk that I changed a bit. Why? Because at the product booth, we were getting a lot of questions because apparently not everyone knows about this integration. So what I will do is to start from zero and to really explain all the things that we have inside the module to make sure that afterwards you know about it and you know how it works. And of course, we'll talk about the new features. All right, you know the drill by now. Here is the QR code, here is the URL. If you want to ask a question about this WhatsApp integration, you can just write it here. Otherwise, of course, we have the product booth where you can go and ask your questions. We'll be happy to help. All right. The first question when you have to do something should always be the same is why should I do it? Why should I invest some time, install this app, and work with WhatsApp? Well, it's actually pretty crazy. I checked the numbers quite a few times because I was afraid of having some wrong data, but it's actually real. There's 3 billion users, unique users of WhatsApp on the planet. That's almost half the population, and it's not stopped yet. It's still increasing, increasing, increasing. So maybe at some point we'll have more than half the population on WhatsApp. So the obvious reason of why should you be there and communicate about your products there and your brand? Well, because everybody's there. So that's the place to be. A few other arguments, a few other tools to maybe help you convince your team, your manager, or your system admins. We all know, I suppose I'm not the only one that knows the difference between a notification of an email and a text message, because usually it does not vibrate in the same way, right? And text messages like WhatsApp, they get way more attention. Actually, they did some tests, and really, when you receive something about, when you receive a text message, one out of 3 people just check it straight away. Imagine the power that it gives you to contact your audience straight away, instantly, compared to having to send people that run an entire marathon or having to send letter through the Atlantic. It's really something incredible when we think about it. They will receive it instantly, and they will probably look at it instantly. And it has a crazy open rate. We are fighting as marketers against low open rates for emails because it sends them in spam, or people just delete it, or they create some rules when it goes into another tab or folder. text messages will always be read. Something like a WhatsApp message, nobody keeps it without at least looking at it. So you get a crazy open rate, and you're really making sure that you reach your audience with your message. Last but not least, it's really the most convenient way to communicate with a business for customers. Nobody likes to fill in forms. Nobody wants to give calls and have to wait a long time or write an email. It's really not that common in Belgium, but in a lot of countries, like in South America, South Asia, etc., when you need to contact a company, you just check out their WhatsApp number and you send them a text on WhatsApp. It's the easiest way to do it, and people, for example, book rooms doing that or book meetings, etc., etc. So it's really something that's going to be more and more common in the way users interact with brands, and you need to be there, of course. Okay, that's why last year we released the app then, and it's called WhatsApp so that you just cannot miss it. It's available since 1 year, but we just made it a bit better. Let me show you a bit how it works. You have two ways of using it. Let me show you. Here is a database. It's a trial database that I just created this morning, and you see that I installed the app called WhatsApp. But what I did not do is add my own account. But out of the box, it will work. Why? Because by default, on Odoo Online, we connect our own demo account. It allows you to send messages and make sure it works as you like it, and just test it. It's perfect to do some basic flows. For example, if you have here, let's take a sale order, you have the button here, WhatsApp, and you can send that sale order to your customer directly via WhatsApp. If I click here, you see I'm using the Odoo demo account. I have a test number here, and I'm going to send this message with the attachment directly and the link, for example, that has been generated. This will work out of the box so that you can give it a try and play around with it. But as you can see, I get a warning here. Why? Well, because I'm using Odoo's shared account. Everybody's using the same account, and so here I cannot modify anything, and more importantly, I cannot catch replies. So usually it's the best way to, for example, perform a demo or just try it out to see if you like it. But after a while, you will have to add your own account. And this is what I did on this other database. This database here is exactly the same. I created it this morning. I installed a few apps, and I installed WhatsApp, except that here I added my own account. This means that first, I can create my own templates. I can generate my own content and then send it to customers. But what's really cool is that now, with my account, I have my own phone number. So let me send a text here to that test phone number. There you go. Now I have my phone number. It's connected here, and you see I texted like 1 second ago, and we got the notification already. It opened a conversation, so we can see it here. Let me put that there. We have the conversation here, and now I'm catching inbound messages into my system, and I'm notifying the people doing, for example, the live chat, so that they can answer to the customers working from their database. They don't have to know about it, they can just open it. When I open this, I can chat with the customer, and you're used to it if you use Odoo, have a discussion with the customer. Okay, what else happened? Well, as you can see here, if I check the contacts, let me check if we have here. Yeah, a contact has been created because we got an incoming message. We had to identify that person. To keep track of that person, we created a contact. And this is new in Odoo 18. We will regroup all the conversations with this contact on his form, so that if later on you have a doubt about something they said or an information, for example, if they give their address and you forgot to fill it in the form, you can retrieve the conversation, go back to it, and then from there, maybe use this data to interact with them in a way that's relevant. Okay, what else can we do? Well, in WhatsApp, templates are super important. Why? Because Meta does not let you contact any WhatsApp user with any content. They are protecting their user base because they don't want us to be spammed with random messages that we did not ask about. How do they do it? To initiate the conversation with the customer. So here it was the opposite. The customer wrote to me, so I could discuss with them directly. But if I want to initiate a conversation, I need to use a template. Basically, it's some text that you prepare in advance and that you submit to Meta so that they can check that its content it's okay, it's related to your activity, etc. And based on that, they will approve it. Once it's approved, you can start conversations by sending it to customers, which is why, for example, I showed you the example of I can send the sale order directly to the customer on his phone through a text message. Uh, Once you send the template, the message will arrive on their phone, and customers will be able to reply normally as a normal conversation. What's really cool is that as soon as they reply, they show to Meta that they actually want to engage in a conversation with you. And from there, we go back to the flow that we just had, when you can go back and forth and just do free live chat. The only remaining limitation, so that you have all the information available, is that it's not if the customer answers once in their lifetime that you can contact them forever. The free chat is only allowed if you answer between the last 24 hours after the last reply. Why do they do it? Because they want to make sure that the customer is currently engaged with you in a conversation and not has once been involved. That's how they protect their user base, and Odoo has been adapted to follow those rules, which is why we have those templates to initiate the conversations. Okay, so you saw a bit the difference of the different way to use it. As I said, on Odoo Online, it's perfect for a demo or to have a quick look. Or maybe if you have really simple needs where you just want to send a sale order document, but once you start getting serious with it, you will want to create your own Meta account, connect it, so that you can have your own templates, catch the replies, and even inbound messages, which are really high-quality leads, because that person decided to write to you, and it will be really responsive. This is a WhatsApp chat. All right. There's quite a few other features that we can talk about. Some of them are new. Let's have a look. I already showed the stat button, but there's a few other things you can do. For example, if you are here, you are probably, I hope so, registered to participate to the Odoo experience, and it means you probably got a reminder by WhatsApp. Well, this is a feature that's standard. It's not something custom that we made. It's available to you under the tab Communication. Once I have the WhatsApp account and my templates ready, I can actually ask Odoo, well, this reminder, don't send it by email, just send it via WhatsApp and use this template. Since we're using a template that has been approved, we can send it to anyone that's registered, because this is considered like a nice way to start a conversation. And that's why you probably all got this email, this WhatsApp text, with the attachment, which was, for example, your ticket or the instructions on how to get here. Okay, so that's one of the ways we are using WhatsApp in the different business flows now that the integration is here. What else can we do? Well, that's probably the biggest feature that we are adding in terms of WhatsApp messaging. WhatsApp has been integrated inside marketing automation. Let me show you. When I create a campaign, I can now add activities, right? Just like as I always can, but now I have one type of activity, which is WhatsApp message, which means that I can automate the fact that at some point, I will ask Odoo to send a template that has been pre-approved to my recipients. For example, we will call it step 1, and we will send a specific template. What's really cool is that you can follow up on that, and you can use the different trackings that we have to follow up, for example, with an activity that would say, well, let me show you here. For the other activity, we will send maybe another message, let's say this one, and you see we have a ton of different triggers. I want to follow up after a WhatsApp message, but do I want to do it, for example, if they clicked inside the WhatsApp message, if they did not click, maybe if they opened it, because it means they're really engaged, it's the right moment to get back to them, maybe if they did not open it, maybe if they replied, etc. So you can really build the workflows based on the reactions of how people react to the messages you send them directly on WhatsApp. And you can do hybrid campaigns. You can say, for example, I start with an email. If they don't open the email, it's probably because they never read emails. Let's send them a text via WhatsApp. This is something, for example, you could do. What you need for that is just to connect your own account, get your templates approved, and they will be available. Okay, so those are a few features that we have, but we can go further. Maybe you will want to automate something that's not inside marketing automation. Well, for that, for example, let's take here, let's say that in my CRM, I want to send a message directly to leads when they go from one stage to the other. You can do it by clicking here, for example, on the qualified stage, and I will say, let's add an automation. I will add a new one, and I will say, well, Odoo, when I have a lead that goes to the stage qualifies, do something for me. And the action will be send a WhatsApp message. And again, we will start with a template. So the template will be, for example, nice to meet you. Which means that from now on, whenever we move the lead from a stage to this one, Odoo will send the message for you directly. Which means that you can really make sure that you inform the customer in the right channel, because this is where they want to receive the information without even having to think about it. You can send your templates manually, of course, we saw that, but you can also let Odoo do it for you. Okay, now that we have all this, you see a bit the different features that we have. What's coming next? Well, we have quite a few things that we'd like to add in the next versions, so just you can have a taste for it. First, we would like to have calendar reminders, because that would be really great, right? You book a table at the restaurant, and you get a message directly from that restaurant the day before that tells you via WhatsApp, don't forget about the table that you booked. We would also like to do the same for the delivery. So maybe you know the feature in inventory that sends you an email or a text message when your delivery is shipped. Well, we will do the same via WhatsApp, so that if you order something on an e-commerce, you will get a WhatsApp message when your shipment actually leaves the company. And also we're working on audio messages, because if you're like me, you don't like typing and you just record your voice and you explain your issues, this will be directly integrated inside Odoo so that you don't have to download the audio file, you can just listen to it straight from the conversation. All right, that's it for me. We'll go through the questions. We have a bit of time, so that's cool, because I hope I will be able to answer to as many as possible. The pad is there. You have the URL and the QR code. I'll give you a few seconds while I wait for my interviewer to come on stage. Thank you.
Hello, hello.
You're here. OK.
Thank you, Luke, for a wonderful presentation. We already got a couple of questions,
Cool.
and well, first things first, money. So, what's the price of the WhatsApp in Odoo?
So, as you know now, the pricing in Odoo changed, and so you don't pay for the apps anymore. You just pay for the user base, and so WhatsApp is a module that you can add without paying extra for this. Now, in terms of how many the messages cost, it's up to you and Meta. We just do the integration, but we don't charge you for using it. What we do is we let you connect your account, and then you have your own deal with Meta, and they have their own rules. I believe if you are a business, you can have up to quite a few messages that are free. And then if you go further than that, you need to pay some fees. But honestly, I think the pricing is better than text messages. I think it's much better. And plus, it's far more interactive, because you can add attachment, pictures, links, etc. That works better as in text.
All right, all right. I hope that answers very well. Next, I didn't actually see if we showed integration with e-commerce, but I believe there is a standard chatter there. Is there an integration with e-commerce? That's the question.
So in your e-commerce, you will get sale orders, and you can indeed play around with the automation or the marketing automation app to indeed say when the orders goes through a specific stage, or if it is a specific amount, or etc. And then decide to send something via WhatsApp instead of doing it on top of doing it per email or text messages, for example. But we don't have a tool ready in the configuration. It's up to you to configure something based on your needs, your flows, and to define, for example, at which point you actually want it to be sent via WhatsApp.
Okay, can you tell something more about approving templates by Meta? Is it a difficult process?
No, not at all. I've done it quite a few times for my own databases, and basically, I suppose they just check that what you write is relevant to your business, and that the content is okay, because what they want to do is protect users from scams, for example. But so if your text is, here is your order, and that you provide a PDF, for example, of a typical order you could send, usually they approve it. And then it also depends on what you add. Here I was showing broadly the different features, but of course your templates can be dynamic, so it could be hello customer name, and then you need to do some mapping, but that's something they check. But unless you send links that are really strange, I suppose you would be able to get your templates approved really fast. We're not talking about months to be able to use it. It's a few days. Usually they're able to answer really quickly. And it's cool because you can either create your own templates from Odoo and ask Odoo to send them to WhatsApp to get them approved. Or the other side around also works. You can create them on Meta and then make them be approved, and then synchronize your Odoo account to receive them in your database. Both sides work, depending on what you prefer.
All right, thanks. Maybe a little bit about different features of WhatsApp. So
Uh-huh.
in WhatsApp, we have options to add statuses. I don't know if you know about it. And the question is if Odoo provides that kind of capability, or maybe will be in future.
For now, we're really focusing on the messaging features. So there's quite a few here that I didn't show. For example, once you have the conversation flowing, you can use the slash lead, for example, to create a lead on the fly linked to the conversation. You can do quite a few things with the different buttons, dynamic or not, the different links that you want to show. But for now, we're mostly focusing as WhatsApp as a different way to reach your audience as a new messaging service, because there's a lot of countries and a lot of places where people don't read emails. They don't want to receive their invoice via email. They want it on their smartphone via WhatsApp. So for now, that's our main focus, is messaging first.
All right, thanks. Maybe, which one do we want to do? There are many questions about integrations with different apps, like
Uh-huh.
help desk, for example.
Yeah.
And also people are asking, I see a little bit more about templates. So
Yeah.
that's what's confusing. Like if I use template once and they don't answer, for example, would I be able to send another template later, or is there some limits there?
I mean, to be honest, I don't know all their rules, but usually you can try. And if they refuse one of your templates because something does not respect their policies, I suppose they will tell you, and you can always try with other templates. Except if you're really trying to do phishing or scams, in that case, I suppose it will block your account, and that will be it. But the example of helpdesk is pretty cool, because indeed, if you want to provide the best customer service, imagine being able to automate the fact that once, for example, the problem that they have is solved, they get a text message. It's clearly the kind of WhatsApp notification that you would like to receive with, for example, a picture of your product that has been fixed, etc. So there's quite a few things that you can do, and it's really a channel where if the customer has another question or another need, he can just reply, and you can get really something natural inside the context of your helpdesk system. So that's pretty cool.
I see. Here we got an interesting one because it's about flows and contacts. So
Yeah.
imagine you're using contacts, and well, I suppose that the question is whether whether we can filter between contacts that were created via WhatsApp, that have WhatsApp. Is there like a source field? Is there some way to filter those contacts by their number phone, or by the ones?
For now, I'm thinking I'm not sure we are flagging them specifically for now, but that's a good feedback. That's something maybe we could look at. For now, that's something that you would add and customize on your side, because indeed that's the standard. You receive a message, we need to make sure that who that person is, and so we create a contact. But I'm not sure we actually flag it as someone that's been created via WhatsApp.
I see. Yeah, probably that's something we can do.
But there's probably something you could do, because they've been created and they are already linked to a conversation in WhatsApp. So probably you could recognize those contacts like this in your automation rules, for example. Something to check.
Okay.
But good idea.
And there's also quite a few questions about business account on WhatsApp. So if somebody has already a business account, do they need to create a new one just for Odoo?
Okay, I see.
Or you can have, for example, can you have like multiple numbers with Odoo?
So the idea is indeed that you're not going to connect your own personal account. You're going to connect your business account that has your company phone number. And so if you have a business account on Meta, what you need to do is just create the app. So to go on their platform where you can create this connector with your account. What's cool is that indeed you only have one company phone number, but now, as you saw with Odoo, whenever you receive inbound messages, they're shown to different person and not just to that person that's, for example, on his phone with that number available. So it makes this number far more available for your colleagues that could potentially be available to answer to the customers.
I see. All right. Thanks. Maybe some question about. Oh, it just disappeared. Oh no, it's here again. So yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, you're adding a lot of questions in between, so I might have lose some of them. Just put them on the bottom, please, if I haven't reached them yet. Is it possible? Maybe a question about the road mapping and what we are planning for future. So, is it possible to? Will it be possible to send confirmation of appointments in field services with an automation, or for example, with WhatsApp? Is that something planned, something we think about?
I suppose it's something you could already do with the studio as a studio customization, because as I saw, now you can ask Studio as an action to actually send the template. So you could, depending on the stage update, etc., use it as a trigger to send your templates. So indeed, there's quite a few things we could do, and that's why we're not trying to integrate it in every flows. It's because with automation, we already cover pretty much anything, except specific flows like a calendar reminder, an event reminder, or a marketing automation campaign. So that's what we added in Odoo Eating.
All right. Another thing about road mapping. How about some integrations with Instagram or Facebook? I think we already have some integrations there, but maybe the question here is about like more messaging there, I guess.
So for now, the integration that we have with the other social media platforms is indeed that you can post your post and then you can get the comments and answer there. One of the things that we have in the backlog and that we will look at for the next version is indeed to use Instagram direct messaging and Facebook Messenger to maybe have sort of the same flows and really regroup all the different inbound messages towards your Odoo database.
Okay. Some people want to know if that was your real phone number appearing on the screen.
It's a test one, because of course otherwise it will be on YouTube forever and that's a very bad idea.
All right. Once I connect my WhatsApp account to Odoo, can I disconnect it at some point and use it with another Meta partner?
You're not signing forever with Odoo. You're just connecting your account as you just log in as your account so that we can use it on your behalf. But it's not done like this forever. Maybe a last one, because I see that time is up. If you have other questions that haven't been answered, you can go to the product booth, at the marketing product booth, and we'll be happy to maybe check into more details. Yeah.
I'm looking for something, but no.
Yeah, I think time's up. Okay.
Right.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice day.